Join us every week for coaching and Q&A. You'll learn how to get more listings signed and sold following the simple and fun easy listing method. Plus, find hidden gem tips and get motivated as you surround yourself with like-minded peers in this weekly mastermind. Let's jump in.
Everybody remember what the homework is?
I'm going to confess and say no. I'll be the first to confess and say no.
Yeah. Okay, Erica, what was the homework?
Okay. Question from Robert. Why are you not listing 4 to 5 homes a month? How can you get more listings from sellers? And my response is, I am working on that.
There was actually a question about buyer's premium that we're all doing together. What was that question? Yeah. How does this attract? And that's what I'm going to ask you when we get on thing. How can this attract more listings for you with sellers?
Who here's prospected FSBOs? Every FSBO when I used to call, oh, just bring me buyers. If you're so good, just bring me buyers. I don't need an agent. I just need buyers. Well, guess how we get you buyers? We use this buyer premium. It makes buyers able to put in offers that they wouldn't ordinarily be able to put in on homes. How do you do that? How do you get a buyer's premium option for the buyers that might be interested? You use this platform and it costs you as little as 0%. You think you have a new value add compared to other listing agents that are calling these FSBOs?
Very good, Kat. Mike Nicolai, got some celebration to do with you, don't we?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I sold a house.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah. Again, it's the same house that we've been talking about for months, seems. I finally was able to put together a deal with one of the buyers that came through. They offered $405 on it. There's a 10% buyer's premium. And just as an added bonus, the seller is giving him a manufactured home. So, it's just going to be a quick claim deed over there, but that satisfied my seller's need for money, and it also satisfied my buyer's need, and I was able to do both sides of it. So, yay.
So, hold on, Michael. So, so this is the guy that was in the mobile home?
Yes.
So he's giving that mobile home to the seller?
Yep. Just quit claim deed over. Gift.
Well, you guys, we got to go out and work our deals, right?
That's some REI stuff right there. That sounds like an REI transaction. Weird, goofy, out of left field. Boom. You walk out with a paycheck, baby. Good. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, Michael, I am so proud of you, man. That is so great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was, and the buyer and seller are just so nice. They both had needs, and they both were, they both had to give a little bit to get to where they wanted to be. But in the end, everybody's getting what they needed, because now the seller is taking that manufactured home. He's a real estate agent, by the way, and he's going to flip it basically to get the money that he needs to, make up for what he had to pay. So yeah, no, the deal actually ended up probably at a sale price about $430. Because it's a $25,000 to $30,000 manufactured home, and he needed 6% concessions. So to be able to basically, he was getting down payment assistance. He was getting assistance with all the closing costs. So what my lender ended up doing is buying down the rate and buying down the rate on the down payment assistance loan. So he used the money to buy down both rates, not just the interest rate on the primary mortgage. Because these down payment assistance programs are being required to be paid backwards, or at least this one was. So what ended up happening is this buyer, called me, from the marketing that was coming through, and said, hey, I've got this. And oh, by the way, I've got this trailer that I need to sell to move into this thing. And so what we ended up doing is giving him the trailer to compensate him for what they were, getting less than what they were looking for with the buyer's premium. Because with the buyer's premium, it needed to be up in the 430s. And he did not have the bandwidth to pre-qualify for that. He was qualified for 405. So we maxed out his qualifications. They took the trailer as part of the payment. We had to do it as a gift so that it wouldn't, raise any red flags with anybody, but whatever. And the deal got done.
How awesome is that, you guys? Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
You need
I
to do a
told,
video tutorial on that story.
Before you got on, Michael, I had told everybody that you had sold a home, but what I love about this story here, he has stuck with this thing. He's gone through some very tough trainings with me. Right, Michael?
Yes, absolutely.
he didn't take it personal. He stuck to it. He stuck to his guns. He knows that we're all about helping him get a deal down. And that's a superstar move there, Michael. Very proud of you.
Well, just let's a whole bunch more, guys.
So, Michael, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is your seller ecstatic now?
Beyond words.
Are your buyers ecstatic?
Yes, they are.
So you created a win-win transaction. You double-sided it, and you represented the buyer and seller and did that with our platform, right?
I did.
That's what this is all about, you guys. This is about when we talk about taking real estate out of the tech company's hands and putting it back in your pocket. That's exactly what you're doing by being a part of this group and this community, because it's important. And I encourage all of you with your videos, role playing, questions. I love getting questions on the phone, but I'd rather you bring it up in front of the group. Let's see what the group has to say. I'm crying out loud. Frank Macri, every time he says something, it's like, ooh, it's a golden nugget. Anybody else have any wins, losses for the week? Anybody have any questions? Cynthia, you had your hand up. Did it get answered?
Oh, I was applauding.
Oh, that's so nice.
But since you called on me, why not? Yeah, I made a video. I can't share it right now, but I'll share it with you in email, Robert, and maybe Kat, Joy, and Michelle. Just kind of get your two. I have sent it out, and I sent it via text, and it's under a minute, so that was a little bit challenging for me to get it under a minute, but I got enough in there. So I am getting some responses from that, because a lot of people in my calls, I'm seeing some hesitation, but I am getting responses with this quick video. But it's so quick, and it's fast, and and I say things quickly. However, I think I need to do a new video for that.
Are you just saying that as a video?
Put it on the Facebook page.
Well, hold on. I have two questions. Robert first.
Hang on, Michael. Are you doing that through your own phone video texting, or are you doing it through BombBomb? How are you sending out the text, Cynthia?
Oh, one by one, organically. I'm not using any service
Perfect.
but my thumbs.
There you go.
These are personal messages. Like, I'm specifically targeting people, like, hey, Robert, I know you had your property listed 6 months ago. Look, the market's changed. I can get you what you want. And guess what? I can save you the commission. I have a 0% program that would work, interested more. And they're like, oh, well, send me information. I was like, I'm going to text you a video right now. It's under a minute, and I want you to watch it, and I'm going to follow up with you. Click. That's it. And then it gives me an opportunity to follow up, to say, hey, did you have an opportunity to watch that video? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's just a good follow-up for me, and then I can do that.
Very good.
Awesome. Hey, put that on the Facebook page so that we can all look at it.
That's a great idea, Michael. Let me see when I jump on Facebook. No promises, but I will have it on my agenda, but no promises.
If you don't mind, if you send us the YouTube link, we'll put it on for you if you have a hard time doing it. Listen, Here's what I love. Let me explain, Cynthia, why I'm saying that. Is one of the things that I had talked to Michael's seller a couple weeks ago with them, and it was a little combative. It was a little uncomfortable. It was a little. He flipped a switch when I said, "Look, this is a community of several agents that are getting together and brainstorm behind each other and make us better. It's not just me. It's not just Joy. It's not just Kat. Not just Michelle. Not just Adam. Not just Greg. It's you guys and your feedback and your ability to figure out. We can say things like buyer's premium. I feel like that I'm saying the same thing I've been saying since we've started these trainings, but obviously it's not. And the more as a community that we help each other understand about what is happening, the stronger we get and the better we get. When you hear about the flexibility of the buyer's premium, every buyer and every buyer's agent should love you, not be running from you. And if you can convey that over to your sellers, that we have that flexibility because you're using the easy system, you're pricing the home down below, that we have that latitude to where instead of the seller having to give away a ton of money, that we can utilize by building it on the price of the home. Sellers want their home to sell faster. Wouldn't it be easier to sell a home faster with a lower mortgage payment? And these are the things you guys have at your fingertips by utilizing the buyer's premium. And again, your message to the sellers, your message to the for sale by owner, your message, every one of them ought to be talking about the 0% listing, but also the benefit to the buyers. That by using this mechanism that we have, and that we can actually help buyers get a lower interest rate. And when they get a lower interest rate, what is that? What is the benefit to you, Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller? Chances are we can go up in price a lot because they got a lower payment, right? And it's not coming out of the seller's hands. The sellers and the buyer, by the time we're done with this, you guys should be better at this than me talking to agents.
You just get it sold.
What's that?
I said, I think they just get their properties sold.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
It's some of these properties that are going up in price and young families that can't afford it. They can get their interest rates down to a payment that they can afford.
Yeah, and it's a very, very, very valuable tool, and I'm going to keep coming back to it. Who has access to it? Only the easy certified agents, right? Does anybody else? Nobody else is using buyer's premium right now. Just us for traditional listings.
Yeah, and I think while we're kind of having this hybrid discussion on the value add and this idea of video marketing, and Cynthia said 60 seconds or less, YouTube shorts, reels, everybody, you can have longer form content now, but those vertical videos, the goal is typically to catch somebody's attention within the first 3 seconds or less. So rather than treat your video as an academic sort of educational video on here's a platform, here's a feature, here's a thing that it does, it's great. In those first 3 seconds, you've got to be spitting out something that means something to the person who's going to be clicking on that video. So if it's a message that's going to reach a seller, in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you how you can get buyers to your listing that wouldn't be able to buy your property any other way. Something to that effect. Now they're curious, now they want to know, now they keep watching, and you're setting the expectation of what you're going to show them. If it's something that would go to a buyer or even a buyer agent, like imagine a video like, hey, I know you had questions about this listing and you might have a client or more than one client interested. I'm going to show you how you can get paid without your buyer having to worry about it. Right? That could be all of these things. This is just spitballing, but there's so many one-liners that you could use to open your video that will be more important than anything else that follows in that video. As long as you end up showing them, this is the actual benefit that we have. To use it, contact me, or to use it, I'll show you how to list your home this way for 0%. But seriously, I dropped the link in the chat to this video. It's an interview with a young teenage creator named Jenny Hoyos. She is incredibly brilliant. She's going to show you exactly how she scripts these short little videos and trims it down to the point where she cuts out little word gaps to make her video shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, just so people watch all the way through and even repeat the video. For homework, you guys watch that video. That girl will teach you a million things in this 30-minute interview.
I think
Where do we
everybody's
see this
watching that
video?
video right now.
It's so good. It's one of my favorites. So it's in the chat, Robert, if you're looking, Bob Mangino, if you're looking for it, it's in the Zoom chat right now, but I'll also put it in the YouTube description and the blog recap with this episode when it publishes. But her name is
Thank
Jenny
you.
Hoyos. Her interview is on Jay Klaus, Clouse. So it's on his channel, but it's an interview with her. You should be able to search those two names and pull it up.
Awesome.
But it's really awesome. And always remember, like, we think that we need to explain everything in and out. And we, as the person that's offering a service or benefit or feature, should be able to understand the ins and outs of how the thing that we're doing actually works. But most people don't want to sit through 5 minutes of you listing off what sounds like a terms and conditions. They want to know, what's this cool thing? Why does it matter to me? Should I use it? Are other people using it? So maybe include some phrasing like, here's how I'm helping other buyers. Because that short little phrase, or here's what other buyers are doing, that phrase is social proof. It conveys, without having to spell it out, that other people are already trying and using this type of service successfully and getting benefits that they aren't getting otherwise.
So Joy, what do you have to say? I've been getting some great feedback from people that are doing the training with you. They love the little nuggets that you're giving. Anything you want to share with the group that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, just trying to really reach out and convey that message in a unique way. I think we offer something so unique that we sometimes take it for granted, that maybe everybody understands that, or maybe, and honestly, there are times when I think I just did a video on TikTok or something like this that just said, really just asking questions like, you're a buyer or seller, why would you continue doing the same thing over and over again? Why are we continuing to list high, drop the price, drop the price, drop the price, have it on the market for 6-9 months? Why? Just why are we doing that? So again, I think we have to kind of sometimes step out from a larger perspective and kind of think about how the real estate industry has always done things. And those are maybe some good video topics, and just ask why. Like, why are we continuing to do this? It strikes me sometimes like I'll just be, because I'm in doing easy real estate stuff all the time, that I forget how really impactful it is. And honestly, how exciting it is. So I think sometimes zoom out a little bit and be like, this is so unique and so different. And we have an opportunity, like Robert said, there's very few of us right now, right? So we have a really opportunity to be that unique voice and to get out there and spread that message. We should be excited to do that because, again, like, we're in a unique situation. The regular industry has continued to do the same path, and we see it not working over and over and over again every day. I'm on real estate forums where people are like, hey, what are we doing if a house has been on, I have a house on the market for 120 days, they won't drop the price, what should I do? And I'll text back, I found a way, check out this platform. So just in your everyday conversations, if you're on, I encourage you to go on Facebook and join some different real estate groups where you can start those conversations. And then again, on your own Facebook page, on any of that, anywhere you would reach, even if it's email or, if you're sending out video texts, which are great. But again, I think this is something I think each week, and I appreciate that Robert's given the homework to do that. But again, each week, kind of start the week maybe on Mondays and say, hey, what can I do this week? It's going to pique people's interest with this unique message. Every week, it's like something new.
Awesome. Thank you, Joy.
I think,
So, go ahead, Frank.
I was going to say, part of it is if you have a seller that isn't realistic on the price, don't take the listing, move on. I mean, that's, even with the platform, it's about accurate pricing. You have to have someone that's, you're rowing the boat in the same direction. If you got a seller that is not realistic, there's plenty of fish in the sea, move on. That's it.
Very good.
So then are
Hey,
there
so who
any,
won?
I'm sorry, Robert, but are there any objections that people are having a hard time with? I mean, mine that I come up with or that I'm come across is send me some information. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing and causing an opportunity for me to follow up with them. So still have a conversation. But what other objections? I'm just curious.
I don't think people are getting objections from anything. I think the biggest thing, that we've been hammering for the last month, and we'll keep hammering until everybody's got it down, is figuring out, between the investor segment and between the listing real estate segment, where does the buyer's premium fit in? How can you guys maximize it? How can you get in a contract faster? And understanding, how to explain it to buyers and buyers agents. So, and I believe that we've come a long way after last Thursday's training. Well, for the month, we'll say that you guys seem to have a better understanding the benefits on a buyer's premium, right? And then, we're getting into on Thursday, we'll be getting more into the investment side of it, where we're actually using that buyer's premium to build in a protection mechanism for them of 3%. And there's different ways of pricing the home with somebody doing an investment property versus a traditional. And just so you guys know, we are starting in a campaign. The William, you just signed up down the bottom. He does Facebook tizing and been very good at it. Adam's brought him into the company, but did he disappear? I guess he left. Oh, there, hey, William.
No, it popped in.
Going
camera.
on?
He
Sorry,
he
Robert.
has sent over 5 investors for us to talk to in the short time that we've known him. So, and we need you guys to start understanding that these investors are the best pathway to listings and faster closings. And the only way that could happen is by utilizing a buyer's premium. So Adam, who has come into the company, has sold, I think, Adam, were you at 10 on our site? I think he is. Michelle, he's at 10, isn't he?
I think so.
But
Right.
the thing to remember on him, he's averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 per because of the buyer's premium, and also he's getting some offers on the home as well. So the price is going up and escalating on both sides of it. So our investors are making money, but the biggest thing that's the most exciting thing is that they were non-converted leads. They were leads that would have gone into the garbage can if it wasn't for the buyer's premium. And you guys, by now, with as much talking we've done over the last month, you guys should start being able to put 2 and 2 together. How is an investor's property listing is going to be? And again, on Thursday, the topic Thursday, we'll be getting into the investor side of it as well. Once we get done with the traditional. Did you have something, Greg? No. So anyway, so William is yes, he's going to be a very strong part of this team. He is going to help us work in and get our own investments going that we'll be listing with you guys. And then he's bringing agents in at a furious pace that are going to need agents to list their homes on the platform. So you want to get to know this guy. We want to take care of his customers, and it's going to be a fun journey with him. But he and Adam have known each other for 11 years, and both of them I don't know that if it weren't for Adam, I don't know that William would have agreed to work with us. So we feel very fortunate to have him a part of the team. Do you guys have any questions for William you want to ask?
Yes, William.
How's it going, Kenneth?
Hey, how's it going? William, are there areas that you're marketing for the investors? Are they across the U.S. or are they specific locations within Midwest, East Coast, or West Coast?
For sure, that's a great question. So we work with guys nationwide. I have clients from Colorado, the Tampa Bay area, all the way to California, Texas. Over the just past week, our deal flow was one in Michigan. There was one in Houston, Texas. We have one that's closing out in, I believe, the Tampa area this week as well. So it's pretty spread out. And I think we just got one locked up on my internal team that we submitted to Robert this morning. And that is in Florida. I forgot exactly where it's at, but we're all over the place.
Excellent. Excellent. Looking forward to working with you, William. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we are going to starting out with a minimal buy-in this month, and then we'll increase it next month by substantially a lot, so that we can get everybody in the areas that where you guys are that are grasping this. So that brings in Monday's or Thursday's homework. Part of this stuff, you guys remember me saying that if I wouldn't give you a lead, there were only 2 of you I'd give leads, because they had the right answer on the buyer's premium. So keep working, keep practicing, keep role playing with yourselves, perfect it, because we'll be moving into your areas. All right, so it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good ride, and so that the company will actually be doing the investment side of it as well, and then obviously we'll be attracting quite a few agents because of our unique selling proposition. So so today's question Monday, does anybody else have any questions or?
No, but I wanted to kind of highlight somebody here on this platform. Greg Bilbro. He presented me with an opportunity out there in Cleveland, Texas. And this opportunity here was somebody was trying to sell their property, and they went with one of these iBuyers initially, right? That inflated the price that they said that they were going to purchase it at. And Greg said, just be patient, hang out with this lady for a little while, right? Let her know that she's got a like that you're happy that she got this opportunity at a higher price point than it is that they were able to offer her, right? And then he gave me a little bit of a background story about one of his experiences, a shocking experience initially that he went through to find out somebody else had inflated the price point at which they were going to buy the property at, and that wasn't really their intention to buy it at that price point, right? And so listening to Greg's advice, hanging in there with her, she eventually called me later on, like not even a month later and stuff, maybe like a week and a half. She said, Ace, can you help us sell this home? So that as soon as it is that she signs everything and we go over the plans again, that home is going on the platform.
It's awesome, Ace. Good job, Greg. Way to go. So
let me add to that a little bit, because Ace, you're so polite and kind in the way that you communicate. It's really like impressive to watch a gentleman speak as smooth as you do. The chick got hosed. She was getting suckered. It's called sucker pricing. And it's a real story that happened to me probably 10 years ago. So the move is this. I was trying to buy a house like 500. I don't remember the numbers, but like for sure I knew my numbers. I know what I was doing. This other competitive wholesaler who I know of and was a bigger shop than me and been around for longer than me. So, and I didn't know much of him, but he comes in at like 550. I'm like, 550, that is ridiculous. I put my tail between my legs. I lose the deal. I say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I can't do 550. I can't do it. I don't even know how 550. That's ridiculous. I'm at 500. I'm only at 475. So I'm already stretching Mr. and Mrs. Jones. And I was very polite. I was very kind. I said, if anything happens, you let me know. If he backs out, you let me know. And sure. And then I figured out the move. And here's the move. And this is big in the RA space now. They even have a name for it. I called it sucker pricing 10 years ago. They call it retreading. You say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, give you 550. I'll close in 30 days. I promise. I'm all cash. I've been in town, a good reputation, been doing this for a long time. Then what do you think Mr. and Mrs. Jones does? They get excited. They go rent the U-Haul. And that's what this was happening. They're moving from Scottsdale to California, U-Haul to live next to granddaughters and retired and done. And then you shut off your utilities and you buy your new condo and you know you're transitioning life and you're doing the 800 things you got to do to get out of house one and get to house two. So what do you think happens in a 30-day escrow with a dirt ball? You get a phone call day 25. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm so sorry. I hate to do this, but some bad news came up. Insert liar, answer here, whatever that lie is. And then you try to say, look, so I just can't buy it for $550. I'm at $475. And that's like exactly what happened. And they were devastated. They called me and I did the deal. And that's where sucker pricing came from. But I know that stuff happens. And so you build the moat, you make all the buyers go away, you isolate the seller, you hose them for 25 out of 30 days, and then boom, you ding them for 75 grand. Sucker pricing.
Well, good job, Greg. Good job, Ace.
Good
Way to hang
execution.
in there.
Yeah.
You know what the best part of this story is? It's about doing what's right for the seller. Isn't it nice to know, as an agent, being a part of this system, that we get to do our job with the sellers, make them the most amount of money without the complexity, right? And that hugely important, because we're not just one-dimensional. We're not just a real estate company anymore. Between all the options that you guys have now for the real estate investment side of it that we can do, plus we can turn around and all else fails. We can turn around and tell them, you know what? You don't like the cash offer. You don't like the novation offer. You don't want to do this way. How about you're on our preferred list? We do the listing for you and not charge you a commission. After we tried to make them more money. After they know that when we do our sales pitch, when we get a lead for an investor, we don't just hop in and go to the listing. We want to talk to them about what's in it for them. This conversation, you guys, with these investor homes that you're going to be talking to. How can I make you, with the forethought on your mind, how can I make you more money? And these are the things that we have to offer. I wish Jeff Tetzloff was on the line here. I'll tell you the quick story, and I'll probably have to wrap it up here. So Jeff's parents, and this is back in the 90s, parents passed away. So they left the kids a condo to sell. And this is in somewhere in Wisconsin, in a very nice area of Wisconsin. And, Jeff, with probate, he was the executor of the will, and he wanted to get the home sold quickly. So he had knowing that the home needed like $50,000 of work, and then that home, 50 to 100, and that home would have been worth $750,000. So he started off with one of those, Greg, what'd you call those investors that steal from you and don't execute?
Oh, like the sucker pricing script?
Sucker pricing.
Yeah, they sucker price them in. Yeah.
Sucker priced them in, and then it didn't sell, and the kids couldn't afford the payment, so ended up selling it. They had no choice but sell it at the sucker price. And so when we were talking to him about what we can offer you with the novation, he turned around, and this is on Saturday. He said, Robert, because I want to make sure I understand this. So you're telling me that you could have offered me another $50,000 to $100,000 on that property, gone in and did the work, and turn around and sell it for us and not charge us commission? So yeah, that's what we do. But you're going to find that there are a ton of investors out there that are out there just trying to make a deal work. You just got to keep in mind what's the best method to take our people through when you get to them. Because it can be a cash price. It can be a fix and flip. It can be a novation. All of these things come into play. And like I say, worst case scenario, they don't want to do any of those things. We'll list a home and not charge them a commission. Is there any reason why you guys shouldn't close 100% of your listings with that unique selling proposition? So anyway, so that's Jeff's story, and I heard it, and it happens all the time out in the real world. And it's got to be refreshing knowing there's a company out there that is out there for the sellers, trying to make a win-win situation between sellers and buyers. And the Michael Nicolai's thing down here, if you guys go back and you go through the training again, you don't, when you start talking about the buyers, is there anybody that doesn't feel like they know how to explain a buyer's premium to a buyer's agent and a buyer better now than a month ago? So when you were able to talk to them, look at, just imagine saying this, Michael, to your buyer's agent and buyers at this point. You got them, you're at the open house and they're hot and heavy, ready to go. My objective is always to get one offer on the home on Saturday. 90% of the time that happens. 10% it doesn't on there. But when you can talk to somebody who's hot and heavy, ready to go at the open house and say, hey, you want me to tell you how to steal this home? Come in at a seller. Obviously, you see how many people are here. That's why you need the buyers there in front of them. And said, if you don't want to have to compete with them, don't come in at the base price. Come in at whatever you and your buyers decide, come in at that price. And then now that we're in a buyer's market, your buyers are at the price they're at because they can only afford this amount of payment, right? If we were to build in enough points for the cost of the house to take their payment down, we saw what those numbers were, right? On a 4% buyer's premium, I think the payments were like $1,000 less on a mortgage. How much more buying power does that get for you and your seller? Okay. All down pay, all financing. It boils on how much can they afford in a monthly payment. When you guys start putting, the reason why we're doing this training, it's putting 2 and 2 together. They have to work together. You get the people into the open house. You find somebody who wants to make an offer, and now you got to tell them how to beat the system. And I'll tell you what, agents love that. Buyers love that. They love the advice. So this is exactly why we're working so hard on the buyer's premium, is getting you guys to understand and talk to agents and the buyers where it makes sense for them. But the best thing about telling them about the buyer's premium and the flexibility is because they can make higher offers than they can doing it traditional. Do you guys know any buyers that wouldn't want a $500 to $1,000 lower payment on a home? But yet, when they are resisting the buyer's premium, that's what that agent's telling you. No, I don't want to represent my buyer. No, I want to do it traditional and screw them. Or what was it? What's that pricing called, Greg?
Sucker pricing.
Sucker pricing.
Sucker pricing, yeah. You want to
screw 'em
pricing.
pricing.
You just want to do sucker pricing, don't you? And the chances are he's going to make more money off of our system by utilizing the buyer's premium. Hell, in Seattle, the new homes that are going up listed, they're at 2% because of this buyer's market.
Robert, you had an interesting little idea that I just sort of thought through a little bit. It wouldn't be a bad idea for everybody who's interested to kind of take it on their own volition and call their own MLO guy or girl and say, hey, I want to work on a little kind of, like a dynamic duo pitch with you, Mr. MLO. I want to come up with a something affordability home program, right? And it's all about the MLO. So now you're getting the MLO's endorsement. You have him or her or his staff run all of the amortization schedules, right? That's their language. That's their speak. Let them do that, right? And then you stay in your lane as the agent who brings this superstar, approach in selling and marketing real estate, right? And now you're MLO, and now you can kind of speak. You can say, we have this XYZ affordability program, and here's the numbers, and here's my team, and here's my partner, and here's how we put it together. And now it looks a little bit more packaged, rather than you talking on a cell phone saying, here's the buyer's premium, and it's cool, and you should like it.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna keep the good fight going until everybody understands how to talk to agents. But it's like I tell you, when I talk to an agent that's got a resistance to a buyer's premium, it's like, listen, seller's not doing it for himself, dude. He's doing it for you and your buyers. We're making it open and transparent. And not only that, we know that right now we're in a buyer's market. You agree with that? Yeah, of course I do. And your buyer can only afford a $350,000 home. What if I can make it so they can afford a $450,000 home? What? You can do that? We saw what 4% buyer's premium can do to a payment in the Thursday training. And like I say, I don't care if it's $500. That $500 will still bump them up an easy 20, 30,000 bucks. Well, 50,000, right? That's the rule. So Michael was at 400, utilizing the buyer's premium. And the other thing I'm going to say about Mike Nicolai, Mike, I think the trainings helped you put this deal together, didn't it? Now all of a sudden you got the understanding about the flexibility of the buyer's premium.
Yes, that's correct. It trust me, without the coaching, without the input, I would not have been able to put this together.
And that you guys, that's all. And Michael, Graham, you know, same kudos to you too, because you put together one hell of a deal. But I believe it would have been easier for you now, what you know now, than what you did back then, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
So keep all those things in mind, you guys. These are things that you have to do in this market to close things. We had a $2.2 million close, and it was a pain in the ass. There's no easy deals out there anymore. You got to fight for everything you get. But what you got to do and separate yourselves from everybody else, the buyer's premium can help your buyer get into this home for less money. And that doesn't mean discounting the home. That means the most important thing isn't the cost of the home. The most important thing is the payment, right?
That's correct. Affordability.
So, and that's that from day one. It's where I've always been with the buyer's premium. And like I told you, for those who continue to fight me, it's like, man, you're not a very good agent, are you? You're telling me your buyers, if they could save $1,000 on a home, $500 on a mortgage payment, they wouldn't be interested in that? That wouldn't change their life? And you know what they say after that, right? Maybe I'm not understanding this. Because sometimes they got to get out of their own way to hear it. But the seller isn't making us do this. We are doing this to help your buyer. Pure and simple. So anyways, appreciate everybody. Topic Thursday. We're going to dig deeper into Frank Macri's buyer's premium. All right. So anyways, look forward to seeing y'all then. Thanks for showing up.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.